What if the X-Men got the reboot they actually deserve? Imagine a Wolverine that feels just as intense as Hugh Jackman, but with a fresh face, a more comic book accurate Storm. Today, we're building the ultimate X-Men dream cast for a new generation. Let's roll it. The X-Men are finally making their way into the MCU, and let's be real, the casting is everything. We've seen some legendary performances, but it's time for a fresh lineup that can carry the franchise for the next decade. Let's start with Wolverine. Wolverine is the heart of the X-Men, feral, brutal, but also deeply human. Hugh Jackman set the gold standard, but if we're rebooting, we need an actor who brings that same intensity and can lead the X-Men for the next decade. My pick? Tom Hardy. This guy has the acting chops, the rage, and let's be real, he'd look absolutely insane with the claws. Wolverine isn't just about brute force, he's a battle-hardened warrior with layers of pain and resilience, and Hardy can embody that effortlessly. You've seen him in Warrior and Mad Max: Fury Road, so you already know he can bring the intensity, the raw emotion, and the physicality needed for Logan. But here's the kicker. Tom Hardy can actually fight. In 2022, he quietly entered the Ultimate Martial Arts Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Open Championship at Oak Grove School in Milton Keynes and won all his matches. Before that, he dominated the Ari-Org Open Jiu-Jitsu Championship in, of all places, Wolverhampton. And in true Wolverine fashion, he donated his winnings to military personnel, veterans, and emergency workers. Now imagine the fight scenes. Picture Hardy's real-life combat skills blended with Wolverine's animalistic ferocity. The sheer physicality, the brutal bone-crunching action. It would be next level. Hardy wouldn't just play Wolverine, he'd be Wolverine. What do you think? Who's your pick for Logan? Drop your casting choices in the comments. Next up, Cyclops. Cyclops is the X-Men's fearless leader, but let's be honest, past movies haven't done him justice. He's not just the guy who shoots lasers from his eyes. He's a tactician, a strategist, and the backbone of the team. My pick? Harris Dickinson. He's young, but don't let that fool you. This guy has the authority and presence that Cyclops needs. Scott Summers isn't just the team's leader, he's the X-Men's moral center, torn between duty and personal struggle. Harris Dickinson brings that rare mix of strength, emotional depth, and intensity to the role. He's got the acting chops to go toe-to-toe with Wolverine and command respect while still showing the internal conflict that makes Cyclops such a compelling character. You've seen him take on action and drama in The Kingsman, bring raw physicality in The Iron Claw, and heating up the screen with Nicole Kidman in Baby Girl. He's got range, presence, and that classic Boy Scout aesthetic without coming off as a total nerd. Cyclops needs someone who can exude quiet confidence, command a team in battle, and still feel human beneath the visor. Harris Dickinson checks every box. Time to cast Storm. Aurora Monroe isn't just an X-Man, she's a goddess. She's regal, powerful, and has one of the most commanding presences in Marvel history. Halle Berry was iconic, but now it's time for a new queen of the elements. Ebony Obsidian as Storm? Say less. This actress radiates power. Ebony Obsidian has the grace, the presence, and the intensity to not only command the skies, but to lead the X-Men when needed. Storm isn't just another hero. She's a goddess, a warrior, and a queen. And let's be real, Marvel has seriously underutilized Storm in past adaptations. It's time she gets the spotlight she deserves, and Ebony has everything needed to make that happen. You've seen her bring depth and raw emotion in If Beale Street Could Talk, and in The 6888. But what truly sets her apart? She's classically trained. Ebony honed her craft at the William Esper Studio in Manhattan, a school founded in 1965 dedicated to Sanford Meisner's legendary acting technique. That means she's got the skill, discipline, and emotional depth to fully embody Aurora Monroe, not just as a powerful mutant, but as a layered, complex character worthy of center stage. Next up is the Phoenix, Jean Grey. Jean Grey is not just the love interest. She's one of the most powerful mutants of all time. She's kind-hearted but has unimaginable power bubbling under the surface. And when she becomes the Phoenix, total devastation. My pick, Andi Matichak as Jean Grey. Yes, please. Jean Grey is one of the most layered characters in X-Men lore. She's kind, empathetic, and deeply human. But beneath the surface lies an uncontrollable, godlike force. We need an actress who can balance warmth and vulnerability with raw, unhinged power. Enter Andi Matichak. She's already proved she can handle genre storytelling, stepping into Halloween's legacy as the granddaughter of Jamie Lee Curtis's iconic Laurie Strode. Facing off against Michael Myers isn't just about screaming. It's about emotional weight, survival instincts, and selling fear in a way that feels real. Andi did all that and more. Marvel has a history of spotting rising stars right before they explode. Just look at Tom Holland and Zendaya. If they cast Andi, they'd be locking in a future A-lister. Now imagine this Scream Queen taking on Jean's ultimate challenge, unraveling as the Phoenix Force consumes her. The subtle shifts from compassion to chaos, the heartbreak of losing control. Chills. This final girl has everything it takes to become the definitive Jean Grey, and the horror fan inside me is begging for this pick. What do you think? Next is Gambit, Remy LeBeau. Gambit is smooth, stylish, and deadly with a deck of cards. He's the X-Men's wild card, the charming, trench coat-wearing rogue with a Cajun accent that fans love. We've been waiting for the perfect live-action Gambit, and it's time. My pick, Austin Butler. Gambit isn't just about throwing charged-up playing cards. He's got swagger, a smooth-talking charm, and a devil-may-care attitude that makes him one of the coolest mutants in X-Men history. We need someone who can effortlessly switch between roguish charisma and intense action. And Austin Butler is that guy. He's already proven he can completely transform into a role. He nailed Elvis, mastering the voice, the presence, and the larger-than-life energy that won him a Golden Globe and an Academy Award nomination. Then he took a gritty turn in The Bike Riders, holding his own alongside Tom Hardy. And now he's commanding attention in the Dune franchise. In just 3 years, he's shown range, intensity, and undeniable star power. Now picture Butler as Remy LeBeau, rocking the Cajun accent, twirling a deck of kinetically charged cards between his fingers, and flashing that signature smirk. Whether he's outwitting enemies or bringing heat in a high-energy fight scene, he'd make Gambit electric, literally and figuratively. We got Gambit, now we need a rogue. Rogue is a southern badass with a tragic twist. She can't touch anyone without absorbing their powers. She's tough, sassy, and in the comics, she's insanely strong. The movies kind of nerfed her, but this time, let's get the real Rogue on screen. My pick for Rogue, Catherine McNamara. Rogue isn't just about her southern charm. She's got grit, power, and a rebellious streak that makes her one of the most dynamic X-Men. We need someone who can bring the attitude, the brawling skills, and the emotional complexity that makes Rogue unforgettable. Enter Catherine McNamara. She's got the southern roots, but more importantly, she can fight. Catherine has been a boxer for nearly a decade, and it shows in her action-heavy roles. She dominated as Clary Frey in Shadowhunters, leading the series to an MTV Fandom Award and winning a People's Choice Award for her performance. Then she stepped into the Arrowverse as Mia Smoke, the daughter of Oliver Queen, proving she could handle superhero action with ease. She's also taken on high-intensity roles in Maze Runner, The Scorch Trials, Maze Runner, The Death Cure, and Air Force One Down, all proving she's more than ready to bring Rogue to life. And let's talk about what Rogue should be in the MCU, at full power. I'm talking about flying, throwing hands, and being the powerhouse she is in the comics. Catherine has the athleticism, the screen presence, and the emotional depth to take Rogue beyond just a supporting role. She could own this character. Next up, Colossus. Colossus is the X-Men's gentle giant. He's a powerhouse, but he's also an artist, a protector, and one of the most loyal members of the team. Deadpool's version was fun, but it's time for a serious take. My pick for Colossus, Florian Munteanu. We need an actor who embodies both strength and heart. Colossus isn't just the team's muscle. He's the soul of the X-Men. He's an artist at heart, but when the moment calls for it, he's an unstoppable force. Florian Munteanu has the perfect blend of power, presence, and sensitivity to bring this fan-favorite mutant to life. Florian isn't just an imposing figure, he's a fighter. He competed in professional boxing in Germany under the ring name Big Nasty, proving he's got the raw physicality needed for Colossus. But what sets him apart is his ability to bring depth to his roles. In Creed II, he played Victor Drago, the son of Ivan Drago, and absolutely nailed the Russian accent while delivering a surprisingly emotional performance. He also stepped into the MCU as Razor Fist in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I know what you're thinking. Wait, can he be two different Marvel characters? Ask Josh Brolin, Thanos and Cable, or Gemma Chan, Minerva and Cersei. Audiences won't bat an eye if Florian trades in Razor Fist for the real role he was meant to play. Plus, Razor Fist was hardly essential to the future of the MCU, and in an alternate ending, he was literally killed off. Florian is built for Colossus. He's got the stature, the physicality, and the acting chops to make Piotr a standout in the MCU. Honestly, it would be a crime if he doesn't get the role. Next up, Jubilee. Jubilee is pure fun. She's the mall rat, spark-shooting 90s teen energy the team needs. Her powers may not seem earth-shattering, but she brings heart and optimism to the X-Men. My pick for Jubilee? Leah Lewis. We need someone who can bring high energy, humor, and charisma without turning the character into a punchline. Jubilee isn't just about fireworks. She's a fan-favorite mutant because of her spunky attitude, underdog spirit, and deep loyalty to the X-Men. Leah Lewis is the perfect actress to bring that to life. She's already shown she can steal scenes as Georgia George Fan in Nancy Drew, where she brought just the right mix of wit and heart. More recently, she's been lighting up screens in the Matlock reboot as Sarah, proving she's got the comedic timing and natural charm to make Jubilee both fun and layered. And let's not forget, she led Disney and Pixar's Elemental as Ember, giving an animated character surprising emotional depth. Leah is also the same age as Tom Holland and Haley Steinfeld, who play Spider-Man and Hawkeye, respectively. That opens the door for some seriously fun crossovers with younger MCU heroes. Just imagine Jubilee teaming up with Kate Bishop for some chaotic, high-energy action. She's got the talent, the energy, and the vibe to make Jubilee shine in the MCU. What do you think? So let's bring out the big guns. Bishop. Bishop is a time-traveling warrior with a no-nonsense attitude and an arsenal of futuristic weapons. He's seen the worst of the future and fights to stop it. If X-Men 97 taught us anything, it's that we need Bishop in the MCU. My pick for Bishop? Aldous Hodge. Bishop isn't just another mutant. He's a warrior, a time-traveling soldier carrying the weight of a dystopian future on his shoulders. He needs an actor who can command the screen with pure presence, someone who brings intensity, intelligence, and power. That's why Aldous Hodge is the perfect choice. Hodge has already proven he can embody larger-than-life characters. In Black Adam, he played Hawkman with a perfect blend of authority and charisma, bringing a regal yet ruthless energy that made him a standout, even alongside Dwayne Johnson. He was fearless, unwavering, and radiated leadership. Before that, he showed his ability to balance raw power with emotional depth in The Invisible Man. proving he can handle action, suspense, and drama with equal skill. Beyond his physicality and screen presence, Hodge has the acting chops to make Bishop more than just a gunslinging mutant. He'd bring nuance to Bishop's internal struggles, the pain of being a soldier out of time, the burden of knowing a future he's desperate to change. Now, just imagine him stepping into the X-Men universe, rocking Bishop's signature red scarf, wielding those futuristic weapons, and delivering lines with the gravitas only he can. It would be legendary. Will the TVA intervene? Last but definitely not least, Professor X. Professor X is the heart and soul of the X-Men. He's a visionary, a father figure, and one of the most powerful telepaths in existence. Patrick Stewart was perfect, but now it's time for a new take. My pick? Joseph Gordon-Levitt. We need someone who can bring a fresh approach to Charles Xavier while still honoring the character's legacy. Professor X isn't just a wise mentor. He's a complex leader, a man who carries the burden of guiding the X-Men while navigating the moral gray areas of mutant kind's survival. He needs depth, intelligence, and gravitas. Joseph Gordon-Levitt has all of that and more. JGL isn't just a great actor, he's a seasoned one, winning awards before he even turned 10. He's proven his ability to shine in both prestige films and genre films. He's also no stranger to the world of comic book films, having played Robin in Christopher Nolan's third Batman and Johnny, the cocky young gambler, in Sin City 2. For anyone who thinks this role might be a stretch, let's not forget, he pulled off Cobra Commander in G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. The man has range. What makes JGL truly compelling as Xavier is his ability to balance warmth and intensity. He can play a leader who inspires without feeling overbearing, someone whose wisdom and quiet authority make people listen. He'd bring an entirely new energy to the role while still capturing Charles Xavier's heart, making him a compelling mentor for a new generation of X-Men. That's my dream lineup for the MCU version of the X-Men. But now it's your turn. Who do you want to see take these iconic roles? Did I nail it? Or do you have better picks? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's cast the perfect X-Men together. Until next time, stay real.